Hello YouTube and hello trade pros. In today's video we've got a special futures lesson. We're going to talk about trading different strategies. So we're going to be going over a lot of different strategies here based on the ES that you guys can see on the screen itself. And there's three main strategies that we're going to go over, right? They're very basic, but understanding their concepts will help you develop them even further. So I hope everyone's excited for this, and I hope that you guys are ready for yet another lesson here at TRADEPRO Academy. Now, if you have liked our videos so far, remember, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, because I know a lot of you still aren't subscribed, and we got special stuff coming out in every milestone, so I want you guys to be there. If you guys aren't yet in our Discord, right, we've got a free Discord. It's community.tradeproacademy.com, and we do a lot of great stuff in that Discord. So let me just show you guys, there's a free Discord version of that. So I want to highlight some things here for you guys. If we go into our free trading chat, you can see even today we had some options trades, right? We had an options trade on Nike, about 15% given here. Was a slower mover. We had some options trades earlier in the day. You can see on our Twitter, we post our morning update here. We give options lists, and we also give futures day trading plans. So if we compare our plan today, for example, we had our pivot area as 4600, 4601. Upside target is 08, right? That means that above 08, once we see a lot of bidding, I'm looking for 20, right? We see a lot of offering under the pivot. We're looking for these levels. So let's see how that compared to our trade today, right? And this is the futures market here on the S&P 500. And what do we get, right? This is the pivot, usually denoted in blue, and then you guys can see right here, this is our key area to start off with. Key bidding above 08, right? Very, very little to none on at 935. Risk against us, and we move into the 20. So if you guys want plans like these every day, if you guys want help with setups, different options plays, just check out community.tradeproacademy.com, where we have a lot of that insight. So thank you for that super lengthy intro. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But right now we're gonna get into the main meat and potatoes of this video. So we're going to be talking about three different day trading strategies here on the futures market and the S&P 500 mainly that we have on my screen. So let's go ahead and wrap up yet another intro, and then we're going to get started. So in front of me, guys, you can see we have the S&P 500 chart, right? We've got volume profiles here. It's very basic on TradingView. I use this for the majority of my levels and plays. And with that, we can identify key levels. We can identify volume. We can identify trade opportunities. Now, I use this with a wider stop and a wider play rather than scalping it. I like to day trade it. So the three main strategies that we're going to go over today, let's just make some room so we could draw. It's going to be the breakout, right, which happens through a key level, right? If this is the level, right, we'll use this level for the ideas. We'll talk about the fade as well, right? Once we get into a level, what do we do? We'll also be talking about the third one, which is the pullback, which is typically a break and retest, right? Now, we can do these trades on the upside or the downside. Now, first things first, if we want to identify levels, we're gonna have to go step by step. We have a lot of videos on this, so I don't really want to break it down too much. But for example, today we looked at what had happened overnight, right? And we saw that this area was an area of interest in terms of volume, right? Slip and slide through it fairly easily, either hold it to the upside or hold it to the downside. Again, we got a video on this, so you can check out our YouTube. And then we're using the basic volume profile to find some ledges of interest, right? So we can add another level here at these tops since we made another area of interest. Now, the key here is when we're playing these areas, it's not as simple as seeing, okay, well, on these volume profiles, we have our levels. If we break through it even by 1 cent, 1 tick, whatever you want to call it, we're just going to get long, right? So the breakout trade is going to be through key levels. So once we get through a key level where there's more bidding, which can be found on your other platforms where you have more order flow, but in this case, What I like to do is if it happens earlier on the day, I'm going to wait the first 5 minutes and see actually if we can get that volume push, right, on the secondary candle for the next break of this level, right? So the breakout trade, we're just looking for the push through a key level, which is going to be 08 that we've identified on heavy volume on a 5-minute chart here, right? Because what we're doing is we're escaping the value of this volume right here. Right, and we're just going to be looking for the breakout of 08, and then we can put our stop somewhere here under this level at 05. Right, yeah, 3-point stop is not the smallest, right? You are risking quite a bit, but the target is going to be into 20. So the risk to reward is much more than the anticipated move. Now, why is the sentiment to the upside? Because we are above the blue box pivot. Now, the same thing, if we should break under the pivot and we offer and we see a heavy volume on the sell side, we are going to be looking for that downside move down into the next area of interest, right? Where this triple bottom had been played and where the distribution shows a ledge for potential support to come out. So that's going to be the thesis of our breakout trade, right? And each level, especially prior all-time highs, prior highs, if we can get a move above those areas with heavy volume, so in this case about like 20-ish or so, we are looking for that extension, right? The peak of this move is only about 3 points, but even if we have like a 2-point stop, we're kind of getting flushed out here. So just keep in mind that stop placement is very important in these breakouts because it could be a false break. How do you know if it's a false break? Well, there are, again, order flow platforms to tell you that, mainly with time and sales, right? And looking at people bidding it up or offering it back down. So if you want to learn more about that, we do have a lot of videos on our website, but this is just the basics of the 3 futures trading strategies. Now, the second, right, I'm going to talk about the fade. Now, fading a level like this, yeah, it seems great on the first touch, but without the concept of order flow, it becomes a little more complicated in that sense. So I typically like to wait for an area to be tested once, and then what we're going to do is look for the rotations on the second potential test. So in this case, what we did was, even in our Discord chat today, we mentioned, hey, you know what? I'm going to look to fade that 25 area with a stop above, 2 points above, so I know it's above that 27, right? So in that case, what we're doing is we're fading these rotations where volume to the upside dies out, right? And we rotate, and we're looking for the next area of support, which is the volume profile ledge. So from 25 to 18, 7-point potential, right? And keep in mind, the fade is a counter trend move, so it's riskier. You want to be right, pretty much right away, and you could look for just tighter risk, right? Tighter take profits and tighter risk. So in this case, we didn't really manage to break the low by too much, right? Higher lows were created into the end of the day. Now, the last portion that I want to introduce here for basics, right? If you want to learn more, just remember that free Discord, we got that in there. But other than the fade here, which I didn't really talk about too much, but the fade can happen on the downside as well. So what does that mean? We get a drop here, and we could be looking to fade this level because you understand that prior resistance turns into support. So right where this ledge is, this was a very, very key area before, it was a high before, is where we're going to see potential buyers coming in. Now, you can drop into like a 2-minute or a 1-minute chart if you want to be really, really precise about these moves and identify where those buyers come in, right? By long wicks like these, and you can take a little more risk and try to fade it. Or what I prefer is wait until that move is done with, right? Wait until the move is done with and look for the second test of that area, because you pump from about like, let's say 87 all the way to 99, and then when you pull back into 87, what do you see? Buyers accumulate. So you can jump in even a little later with the stops below for that potential fade back into the area of interest, in this case the pivot. So same thing here, right? 1, 2, 3 tests, and we're going back up. So fades work to the downside and the upside, but what you need is very key levels, right? So having 3, 4 key levels to start the day, they're going to really set you up for the rest of the day. And then finally, I think the most well-known and the easiest of the strategies is going to be the break and retest or a pullback. Again, happens to the upside or downside and involves the key levels. So in this case, can you pull back? Yeah, maybe. But I'm more interested to see if we can pull back into this area and actually hold it, right? So in this case, we get a dump and it breaks right through those areas of support, which is a little hard for me to buy, right? Even if it's at 17, because we drop all the way to 15 and I don't know that it's going to stall out there. I'd rather see rotations like we have something like here where it's sideways movement, and I can comfortably pick up 18 with a stop at like 16 and look for that next area of resistance that was tested, right? So these areas become pullback areas as well in the direction of the daily trend. Now, pullbacks could just be into key areas like we had seen here. So we pull back, I guess, into this area that was prior resistance. It's a fade in the general direction of the daily trend, but in terms of the overall move, it is a pullback because we're in a strong bullish market. So looking for pullbacks into key zones, that's kind of what I like, and I want to see rotations. A few 5-minute rotations with heavier buy volume at a key support is an area of interest for us for the longs. So with that, with pullbacks, remember, if you pull back into an area, if the trend is confirmed to the upside, you want to make a new high. If that fails, then we're probably going to come back into that area and test it, right? So in this case, do we make a new high? No. So that means we'll probably come back into this area and see if any more buyers come up so we can actually break those tops. So again, it's looking a little top heavy here. Maybe we want to fade it, or maybe we want to do the breakout under this distribution to get us into the next level, into maybe the pivot down here at 4,600. So these are the basic 3 strategies I think every trader should know in the futures market: the breakout, the pullback, and the fade. I think in every market, just general trading, you should understand these strategies and how to use them. So we broke them down in a very basic form. You can take them steps further and identify them with order flow, more volume analysis as well, and go from there. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, hit that little bell to notify you when we do go live and drop videos like these, and drop a comment down below and tell us, what did you think? Do you use these strategies, and which one is your favorite? What do you mainly look for? I know that not all strategies can be defined in these 3, but these are just the basics that every trader learns, I think. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button because we got more great stuff. And don't forget to check out that Discord, community.tradeproacademy.com. So I hope to see everyone in there. I'm going to be in there the next day, right after you sign up, or even that day, and we'll get chatting. So thank you all so much, and take care.